Can you feel that? The faint tremor rippling all the way from the shores of the Detroit River, shaking the very bones of Ford Field? Has the winds of change quietly begun to blow through the Lions' den this offseason, stirring whispers that could break the long, suffocating silence of disappointment? Could this be the moment Detroit finally flips the narrative, defying every doubter, silencing every critic who's counted us out before the first whistle even blows? Mash that like button and drop your belief in the comments if you're ready for the Lions to flip the script, because what's coming next might just rewrite how we think about this defense, this team, this city. Insiders have been murmuring, soft but sharp, some say seismic, about a move brewing beneath the surface. Whispers echo through the labyrinthine corridors of the front office, tickling the ears of sharp-eyed beat writers and fueled fans alike. Shockwaves are poised to ripple through the NFC North, through the league, through every fantasy draft board everywhere. It's that kind of whisper, that kind of rumor that makes you pause, lean in, heart pounding, because if it's true, Detroit is on the brink of shaking things up in ways no one quite expected this summer. And now the truth is out. Ogbo Okoronkwo, yes, the Cleveland Brown freshly cut loose, is the new name buzzing louder and louder in our huddle. This isn't just a player signing, this is a statement. Forget the Za'Darius Smith reunion that fans thought was inevitable. The Lions are eyeing Okoronkwo, the younger, hungrier edge rusher with solid, if not superstar, production, but an age that hints at a tougher, fresher hustle next to our own Aiden Hutchinson. This isn't just about stats or flash, it's about recalibrating the heartbeat of our defense, embracing a strategic pivot that could finally give Detroit a much-needed weapon across from Hutch. Remember those gut-wrenching playoff near misses, the painful rebuilds that drained us of hope and patience, and yes, that legendary defense that nearly roared to life back in '57. We've been wallowing in decades of heartbreak and close-but-no-cigar moments, starved for a spark that feels real and lasting. This could be the ignition point. Imagine the veneer of old frustrations cracking, replaced by a new rawness of potential. Okoronkwo, coming in fresh off a Browns cut driven not by lack of ability, but by a youth movement, represents more than just a player. He signals a mindset shift. But what if this gamble doesn't pay off? What if the locker room chemistry gets rattled, the veteran presence disappointed? What if the Lions' edge defense, long a glaring last line, fails again to protect Hutchinson's relentless pressure from turning into turnovers and wins? Yet, on the other hand, what if Okoronkwo's younger legs and underrated bursts ignite the fiercest playoff push we've seen since Barry Sanders wove his impossible magic? What if this isn't just a stopgap presence, but a key piece in a defense that snarls as much as it swallows quarterbacks? Picture a season where the whispers about Okoronkwo evolve from mere chuckles to roars in the stands as he finds a groove beside Hutchinson, and this defense storms Ford Field like the hungry pride we've so desperately waited for. And if this domino falls, the signing, the chemistry, the breakthrough, it might just unleash the wildest Lions all-season story in history, flooding Detroit with optimism and rekindling dreams too long deferred. But for now, we wait, torn between cautious hope and raw excitement, watching those whispering shadows dance in the corners of training camp, wondering if the dark horse edge rusher is about to transform our fate, or if history's cruel streak will snatch it back before we can truly believe. The stage is set, the city restless, and the next move hidden in the sudden silence is coming fast. Will Okoronkwo be the spark that finally roars to life the defensive edge we've been begging for? Or another twist in the saga that tests us all? Only Ford Field will tell. If you're still breathing Detroit steel and believe our time is now, smash the comment section like it's 4th and goal in the final seconds and tell me you see us rising, because what I'm about to lay on you could shake every rival to their core. As Ogbo Okoronkwo's name echoes through the hallways of Ford Field, imagine the tremor rippling across Michigan Avenue veterans glancing at playbooks with new urgency. Rookie stealing sidelong looks at a fresh face determined to carve out glory beside Avid Hutchinson. Could this move spark a domino cascade of front office boldness, where draft capital and cap space morph into the kind of firepower that finally makes NFC North quarterbacks quake before first downs? Picture Green Bay play callers scrambling to reinvent their protection schemes, knowing that Aaron Rodgers won't get a clean pocket when Okoronkwo and Hutchinson unleash synchronized carnage. Envision Minnesota's sideline muttering prayers as their run game stalls under waves of edge pressure, recalling how the Caldwell era's timid defense never dared to bite back and how Stafford-era glory still felt hollow without consistent trenches mastery. This isn't just a signing. It's a declaration that Detroit remembers the bitter sting of 0-16, the heartache of wild-card losses that replay in our dreams, the Megatron highlight reels that teased us with greatness only to slip away. Now, in this charged moment, we face the ultimate what if. What if Okoronkwo's fresh legs and underrated hustle ignite the fiercest pass rush this city has seen since Don Shula's Lions roared through '57? What if those tidal waves of pressure-forced turnovers that transform Jared Goff's cautious command into a playoff-driving symphony, erasing memories of 2-minute drill meltdowns and exercising the demons unleashed when Sanders left town? Think about the seismic lift in fan energy, every seat in Ford Field vibrating as bodies leap at a late-game strip sack, stadium speakers blasting the roar so loud it rattles windows in Greektown. Yet, what if this chemistry experiment fractures the homeroom of locker room leaders, as seasoned pros who bled for this badge find themselves eclipsed by a newcomer, sparking locker tensions that echo the divisive whispers of the Stafford departure? And what if injuries lurk like bank devils, waiting to strike Okoronkwo or Hutchinson, leaving us to replay old refrains of lost promise and roster roulette? Still, the prize is too tempting to ignore. A defense that snarls, that hunts quarterbacks, and that seizes control from the opening snap and never lets go, fueling a Cinderella ride into January that could end decades of drought and crown Detroit as the fortress nobody dared enter. Picture a World Cup-style celebration rolling down Woodward Avenue, fans draped in blue and silver chanting history in the streets, confetti swirling under the glow of street lamps as the city rediscovers its roar. But for now, all we have are whispers and a name scrawled on the roster board, a spark in the darkness that hints at a revolution. So I ask you, Lions faithful, will Okoronkwo be the catalyst that shatters our chains, or another twist in a saga that tests the limits of our hope? The sun hasn't risen on this season yet, and the echoes of the past still haunt our hallways. But if you hear that rumble beneath your feet, if you feel the weight of destiny pressing down on Ford Field turf, then stand up and join the charge. Because Detroit's moment of reckoning is coming, and I swear, the roar you unleash next could be the one that finally changes everything.